is just to show you what we're doing here. So I've done one. I wanted to do one to show you the difference. Here we go. That's how much we're shortening it. Okay, it's essentially two of these little white limiters. Okay, now in doing this one, we found some problems. Okay, and as we open this one, we'll discuss those problems. So this is something that I'm now aware of that we're going to discuss when doing this. So again, we got the two-stage. It's nice and stiff. It's actually compressing this spring, which is great. That's what we want. Oops, sorry about that. So let's get into this. First, I want to show, though, maybe you can see how see that gray area, see all of this, see this. This is all from inside of this shock. It's what was inside of this. Terrible, really not good, not healthy for a shock. And then there's something else, another surprise. But let's get into that. So we're gonna come in, compress our spring, take out that, take our spring off, our little retainer, we're going to keep this off, we don't need that anymore, our other spring, and we come to here. So I'm just going to use this old dirty one because it's dirty. The shock bodies weren't in terrible shape, but a little dirty, not a big deal. We cannot unscrew that. What I actually had to do was grab the top gently, grab the body, there we go, and you hear it crack and break. Okay, so I wipe the outside because they're filthy dirty. I don't want to get dirt inside. Unfortunately for us, when we do this, because it shouldn't feel like that. That's a lot of dirt, and you can see that dirt. So into this cap, there's nothing here. Well, why is there nothing there? There should be something, right? You can see as I do that, I just left a little ring, dirt ring. So first off, there's no fluid in this one, none whatsoever. So it means it either all leaked out and he had no idea that it was leaking out, which is why you need to check your shocks. But the other one that I just did was maybe half full. So no shock oil in this one, shock oil in that one. So that's definitely another little problem with this whole thing. So when I did empty out the oil, I don't think there's any in here that's going to come out. None. When I emptied out that oil, the oil was brown. Your oil is clear. You can kind of see some on the top of this. It's clear. It should be clear. If it's not clear, you're getting dirt and debris and stuff like that in there. So let's continue on. So what I've done, because I don't have shock shaft clamps, I take a small piece. This is just folded over a few times. Small piece of towel. I take my needle nose and I'm just going to gently clamp on that. I'm going to take something, put it through the eyelet. I got to clamp down pretty hard. This is there. Nope. There we go. And we broke that. And we're just going to undo this. This comes off. I'm putting all my materials up here so I know that they're there. Then I can take this off and there's no damage to that shaft, because if you clamp it with those, you're going to create burrs and stuff like that, and that's going to tear apart your seal. So now we get to see in here whether or not we need to replace a seal. Okay. You seeing this? Are you seeing this? Look at this. I'm touching the head of, oh my God. That's pure dirt in there. Pure dirt. It's not good. It's not good. Now we're going to clean this really, really well. Jeez. So that dirt we got to get taken care of because it's definitely gonna cause a problem. They also had I think the factory for the VXL's got a little spacer on it. We're taking that spacer out because we're putting new spacers in. But oh my goodness, I'm gonna actually drip a touch of the fluid onto here. Let it kind of seep through. We're gonna touch it to the towel. This is going to help us spin and clean this little thing. Oh God, that is terrible. And again, there's tiny little holes in there, and if we don't clean this, it's just so much. Alright, the other one was not bad. I mean, at least it had fluid in it. This is bad. Alright, we got to do this without losing this E-clip. And hopefully we can do this without snapping and having it fly off. There we go. Partial. I'll get the rest of the way. Oh my God. That is disgusting. Just disgusting. Again, I can't stress enough to people out there that I can't even see through the holes. That's how bad this is. I can't even see through the dang holes. So if I just put fluid in there, it's going to eventually push that out, but it's going to create resistance and all sorts of troubles. Jeez, do I even have anything small enough to go through this? Jeez. Can I blow through it? No. Oh, wait. No, I'm not seeing. My gosh, I've never seen anything so clogged before in my life. Let me see if let's use this other brush. If we poke through with the brush. Okay, well, that's working. Now we just covered back up one, but I can see. There we go. See if we can just brush that away. Okay, so let's see if we can even show this. There's two little holes. Hopefully it's picking it up. Those holes were clogged. I can't put it back like that. Just can't. We're going to go ahead and clean off any dirt. It's nice and clean. Clean that. I'm going to go through here now and just clean this other side. Look at that. That was from this shaft. Literally just putting it on here and spinning. There's even some more. So we're going to really clean in that groove where the E-clip goes. Ugh. This is terrible. I mean, folks, don't let your RCs get like this. If you love them and you want to play with them and you want to have a good time and stop breaking stuff, clean them. Maintain them. Maintain the heck out of them. I think I can get it on with this. Let's see. Without. Beautiful. Okay. Now that moves very freely. That's what we want. It's clean. We can start. So again, one of the things we notice is that these are just caps, right? So we must have gone in at some point and done something. There's supposed to be bladders in this. The bladder goes in, then the cap goes in, and then there's that little air between the cap and the bladder, and that's what keeps things moving. That's that flexibility. These don't have it. Not good. Okay. Last time I did this with the other one, it's so dirty. So dirty in there. The other part about it going dry is there's a small silicone, and let me see if I can pull it out here gently without damaging it. Yes. So there's this small silicone sealer. Okay, we're going to clean that because if there's dirt, there's dirt. And luckily, well, that's my fingers too, so it might be condition. Just take a little of the shock oil. You can condition it before you put it back in. You want there to be, you don't want it dry. Dry means it's going to tear. You want some liquid in there so that it can do its job. Okay, I'm just going to scrape up in here, check something. We're good there. I'm going to get a clean towel so you can see this. So here's one of the things I do. I'll take that, I will rip this in half. You'll see what I do with that in just a second. This is our other clean towel. I'm just going to clean out where the threads are. These are plastic threads. Plastic everything, the bodies, the caps, all that. Dirt in there is just going to create wear and tear. Look at, can you see that? This was a clean sheet. That's how much dirt and debris and what collects when you don't clean and maintain your vehicle. You know, if you got unlimited money and you don't mind, you're just going to wreck it and then buy another one, by all means do. That's what Kevin Talbot does. I'm sorry I said that. I usually don't throw that kind of stuff, but you know, the guy's got a ton of money, ton of cars, and you know, your exit, oh well, I'll run it over with a car. Now I'm done with that. I'm done with that rant. So we've cleaned this pretty good, but we still need to get down inside because there's dirt down in there. That's where this extra little piece we cut is. So I'm going to fold it and fold it and fold it. So I get a strip like this. I'm going to then fold that strip in half. And then I'm going to take this half, I'm going to pinch it a little bit so it fits down in and send it down in there till it stops. And we're going to run it one way, and then we're opening it up and running it the other way. It's basically got like this, and so it's, as it runs, it folds over one way. As you turn it the other way, it folds it back the other way, and you get, oh my, are you seeing this? Look at that. That's in the shock body. I'm really worried about that seal. We're probably going to leak. We'll have to check it. That's disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting. I gotta grab another towel here and do this again. This is the worst shock I've ever had to deal with. From buying, you know, used one, this is the worst one that I've ever seen. Oh my gosh. Let's see what happens the second time we go through and do this. Oh my goodness. That is just, I'm in shock. Hopefully you all are in shock too, overseeing that. That's just, you see that? It's still in there. Still in there. I'm going to take this one because it's got some fluid already on it, and it's not completely dirty, so I can reuse it. We're going all the way in. Now I'm going to really stuff this in as much as I can because I want a lot of pressure to scrub the inside of that. That's, oh my gosh. I'm sorry, folks. The other one was not like this. Not like this. But I understand now why the fluid was so bad. Am I leaking? I'm not leaking. And that's under a lot of pressure. But That's better. Okay. Calling it clean for now. We might end up having to buy some new shocks or shock bodies or something. My God, it's never seen anything that bad. All right, I'm gonna toss this stuff. You saw it. It was disgusting. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So we take these limiters and they just slide on. You'll get a little resistance up here. That's good. You want them to be nice and snug. And we're going to put 2 of these on because that's how much. Sorry about that. Battery was about to die, so I wanted to take care of that. So we put 2 of them on, just like that. They're fitting nice and snug. Everything's good there. We'll go through and we take more of this, and we are really going to put that on there. The other one had the juice on there, so I didn't have to worry about it. So now this is there. This slides on in, just like so. We take our O-ring here, gently slide it in, push it down, and it shouldn't slide all the way in. Okay, it's going to sit up just a little. That's what you want. You're going to compress it with this, and that's the whole idea. That compression spreads it out, and that's what is going to keep it from breaking the seal, basically. I'm going to take this clean one here, bunch up a little bit, go into here, and clean that out. Obviously, if everything was that dirty on the inside, it's coming in from somewhere. More than likely because he had no bladder. There's no bladder in these. That's where the dirt's coming in. You see these, I don't know if you can see it, but there's little ridges. I don't know if I can show it. There we go, little ridges on this. That's to allow the air bladder to move without fluid leaking out. Without the bladder now, it's just it's air in there. It's not great. We're going to go through and clean this, our top cap, because it's probably filthy. It's not too bad, not too bad at all. Alright, that's good. So we've got our shock in. We're going to go ahead and slide this on, and then we're going to tighten it down. Now don't take this shaft out without taking this off. And the reason why is, again, we're talking about this is tight and then we're compressing it, right? So when we compress that little O-ring in there, that silicone O-ring, if you try to take this out without it, it's squeezing. So when you take these threads through that, especially if there's no fluid in there, you will definitely tear that O-ring. Take this off. It'll allow you to take the O-ring off without damaging it, and then it allows you to slide in and out of the shock body without any trouble. So that's a key note. Take this off if you're doing shocks, especially if you're replacing stuff and whatnot. If you're going to take this shaft out, take that O-ring out. Super important. Okay, so now that we're at this point, I want to lock this end in, so we're going to grab our little piece of towel and our needle nose, and we're going to take our shock bottom, and we're going to start threading that on. Grab a little tool, and whoops. We're going to turn it until, see how the shock body is now turning? That means it's tight, it's in, it's seated. That's where we want it. Whoop. A little paper towel in there. No, that's maybe. I'm going to back that up because I think I got some paper towel in there and I don't. Sorry. Butterfingers today. It's the kind of stuff that happens when you get all these lubricants, shock oil, grease, all that kind of stuff onto your hands, you're going to get slippy. So back this up a bit. I think that is a bit of paper towel, and I don't want that in there. Yep, that's a little bit of paper towel. So we just remove that. Thread this back in. Am I going to thread this all by hand? I am. Well, you know. Till the shock body starts turning, we're good. That can all go to the side. Now, it slides beautiful. I'm feeling nice. A little bit of friction from that O-ring. That's what we're looking for. It's perfect. Okay, now we've got the spacers in there. You see how it's limited it. It's no longer going all the way down. That's great. But here's the thing. We've got the, as you saw, there are 2 little holes. If you needed more, there's other discs that you can get. There's a 3-hole, 4-hole. There's different hole sizes. So you can get a 2-hole that's a little bit bigger hole. It just depends on what you're doing. For us, we're fine. We're not really looking for the shock to move at all. We're just going to lock it up. And that's one of the reasons why I didn't put the little diaphragm up here, because it doesn't matter to us. We're locked anyways. If the fluid leaks out, it leaks out. We'll refill it. But because now our disc for the damper is now up here instead of down here, we've got that much air in there that we're going to have to fill. So how we do this? Standard, you do this no matter what, even if you don't have those spaces in there and you change the fluid. We're going to go in, we're going to fill it up, and we're going to fill it till it fills to the top. Or really, really close to it. I'm just filling a little at a time until I start to see it. It's almost there. Okay. So now we're close to the top. We just let this settle in. It's going to go through those 2 holes. What we're going to do is we're going to accelerate that by, we're going to bring it up real slow. We don't want to, if you push it too hard, it's going to push all that fluid out, and we're going to pull back. And as you see, that sucked in the shock fluid. And we're going to go all the way back, and I can see it bubbling because it's filling in that gap that's down there. So we're going to refill again. Again, almost to the top. We're going to run it up. And then we're going to run it back. And we're going to run it a couple of times, back and forth. What we're trying to do is get any air trapped down in to those 2 little things. Sorry about that. So again, taking that fluid in, back and forth, filling that gap up. So we're doing really good here. I'm just going to top it off a little bit. Not much. Because normally we would have a bladder. We don't have a bladder. So this is about as full as you would want it for the bladder. You'd put that on, it would leak out. Everything would be great. But we don't have a bladder. We know that there's no air in there. We can go ahead and close this. We've cleaned everything out. So again, we're not grating as we spin this in. There we go. And just hand tight. Does not have, you don't have to crank down on this. Just hand tight. Clean a bit of the outside. And we're good. Because our shock's going to be like this, we're not bashing and stuff like that. I'm not worried about the fluid. Okay. The main thing though is we're not leaking that I can see. So that's good. So we'll go and assemble the rest of this. We'll put our top spring in. We'll put our retainer in. And this is just a clip retainer. For if you use the clips, you want to let this press down on the spring, and then you put your clip retainer in here with this. Okay, so this is your spring retainer. These springs are smaller than the stock springs, so I don't need to have the retainer in. That just slides over. Take our spring, since we've basically put in more than that clip, we don't need the clip anymore. So we're going to compress our spring. Try not to pull it down. The shaft down, okay. Get our bottom clip in. Here we go. Set our spring, and we're done. Just like that. So I can line up these so they're hole to hole. Everything's good. I'm happy with that. Very little. It takes a lot to compress it. I'm happy. And that's going to be our springs done. Really, really easy. But as you can see, I have never seen anything like that. I'm wondering what's happening in the front shocks. But we're at that same point. I don't need to put limiters in the front shocks. So we're going to leave those as is. Again, you know, I may decide to completely replace these, although I don't see a reason why. But we're done. Again, butterfingers with these because it's so oily. So obviously clean your hands after you're done with this, and then reinstall your springs. So I will get the springs reinstalled. I will get this area cleaned up a bit. Again, we're not going to throw any of the pieces away. We'll put those original limiters into the bag of limiters that I have. I bought just a bag of limiters, tons and tons of tons. They're relatively inexpensive. I don't remember if I got these online or bought them at the hobby store. I know I needed them, so I purchased them, and then I had them, and they were done. So those go in there, and this just stays in my box of parts ready to go. So I will clean this up. So dirty, so dirty.